This is the only vintage piece I've ever cried when I've opened the box because I just find it so beautiful. Hello and welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I have a really fun vintage haul for you guys. I have been buying less vintage over the past few months because I've been trying to instead save my money for kind of those dream pieces I've always wanted, and I'm excited because I have quite a few here for you of pieces that I have saved for and really been intentional about looking for and buying. So we're gonna start off with undergarments and shirts, move into sweaters, and then at the end I have lots of really lovely Edwardian and Victorian dresses that I've picked up. So let's go ahead and dive into the pile. This first one here is just a nice white cotton slip. I probably don't need it, but I do like it a lot. I tried it on with some of the dresses I show later, and I just thought it was really pretty and nice, and it looked really nice with those dresses. So I went ahead and picked it up. And then at the same boutique that I bought that slip at, I also bought this guy here at. I'm gonna leave the boutique down in the bottom. I think it's called Halcyon Vintage Clothing. It's in Richmond, Virginia, and is one of the best vintage shops I've ever been to. But I bought this really cute. It's like a bunch of spices and baking stuff that's patterned onto this shirt, and the shirt fits me pretty well. I don't remember where I picked this up. It was either online or somewhere in South Carolina. I can't quite remember, but it's really pretty. It's just a white acrylic sweater by Modern Miss, and it has these cute little flowers on it, and then the collar has the little blue details in it that I think are really charming. So I was excited to pick this up. It is a little bit itchy, so I will have to wear an undergarment with it, but that's all right. And then we have one of two really fun sweaters. This here is a Michael Simon. It's like done all in music things, so I couldn't read it. It's a really cute coffee or tea sweater, and I really liked that the buttons were sugar cubes. I thought it was a hot cocoa sweater and the buttons were marshmallows, but somebody else threw out that it was probably tea and sugar cubes, and they were probably right. But I think this is darling. I really like the trim along the neckline and how swirly and gingerbread housey this sweater feels. So super, super excited about that. And then I also got, like I said, that one is, but I also found we're on a drink theme for sweaters. This is my favorite brand. This is the Foley brand. It has a bunch of different margaritas and things on it. So this is a booze sweater. I really like the champagne glasses across the top. I like that there's so many different type of drinks, and then I don't know if you can see, but certain drinks have beads coming out of them to imply that they're sparkly or kind of fun. And then the buttons on this one are little cocktail fruits, which I think is just absolutely so fun and adorable. So it's like a lemon and an orange and limes. So super cute. I think my favorite drink on this one is this one here with the umbrella in it, maybe. But I do also like the orange one down at the bottom. So I don't know, but it's a super cute sweater, and I'm super excited to have it in my collection. I've been wanting her booze sweater for a long time, but it's always come up on Poshmark or eBay at 90 or higher, and I try to pay somewhere between 20 and 70 for her sweaters depending on the sweater. And so I was actually excited because I think I picked that one up for 30 something. Now we can hop into dresses. This is, I believe, a 1940s dress just because of the construction. I bought it quite a while ago, so I don't remember. I think this was from a trunk of dresses sale, so there is some damage. There's some discoloration here in the front, a pretty big patch that needed some darning here in the back, but I'm totally okay with that because I've always kind of wanted a really pretty green 1940s dress that isn't a Girl Scout uniform. I do have my Girl Scout uniform, but I thought it would be nice to maybe have something not Girl Scout and that's still green and 40s. And I really like the keyhole detail, and I also really like the way the waistband is. I think this is a super pretty detail, and then overall it just feels nice. It feels like either linen or wool. It's nicely faced. All the details on it are great. It is a little bit tight in the waist, and then it's interesting. I guess I haven't looked. I wonder if somebody hemmed it later because this kind of feels short, or whoever owned it before me was shorter than me, which actually there's a good chance because I am fairly petite, so it's not a huge stretch. But this barely covers my knees, so definitely that. And then I guess last of all is this embroidery feature. I think these are stunning, and I super love this dress. Next up, we're starting to dive into what I would say like are my dream piece areas. I mean, that margarita sweater was definitely a dream sweater. However, these are things that like I've specifically kept my eye on. This guy here is a Candi Jones dress from the 1970s, I believe. Candi Jones also made pieces like kind of similar to what Gunny Sacks did, and because they're Candi Jones, they're a little bit cheaper than Gunny Sacks. Gunny Sacks are outrageously spendy right now. But it has this really nice detail of like an embroidered cuff. It has embroidery kind of like trimmed down the front. I really loved this flowers. I saw one of my favorite vendors on Instagram selling this in pink a few months ago. And then I started like looking into this dress and I found it in the blue colorway, which is a little bit more up my alley. And then I kind of hunted around until I saw it. I've seen multiple of these pop up online, and I found one finally in kind of the size, condition, and price range I was looking for. So this one I believe was under $100, which is pretty exciting. I think it was $80 or something like that, and I bought it off of Poshmark. I feel like Poshmark people don't go to so much for vintage, but because you can make offers, I find a lot of times I can get things a little bit cheaper on Poshmark if they're more collectors selling as opposed to people who are reselling for a living. But I super love this, and it's super stunning on me and it fits perfectly. Next up, we have two more dresses from that Halcyon, I don't know how to say it, from that boutique in Richmond. They are both two white Edwardian pieces, I would say. So this first one here is really lovely. I've been wanting one of these for ages. So it has these beautiful lace sleeves with the inset lace, and then it has a really beautiful detail down the front, a slightly pigeon breast, and I like the 3/4 sleeves, and I've been wanting a long sleeve kind of like tea dress or afternoon lawn dress like this for a really long time. I just have a really hard time purchasing something that is in this price range online unless I've been able to try it on before, especially from this era, because it's kind of like the sizes there aren't standard at all. Like with a Candi's or a Gunny Sacks, I can definitely like generally guess like if it's going to fit me or not based on the measurements or the size, because I know my size in those garments. However, when you get to Edwardian, so many things are custom made and there's not less standard sizing, so it's harder to know if stuff fits me. So I did pick up these two dresses in one trip just because they are both dream pieces and I was able to try them on and see how stunning they are. This one I like because I can also wear it like forward or backward. Like I can wear it kind of two ways. I mean, I know the way to go for this dress in theory is to wear it forward, but it does look really pretty backward, and that might give me more uses and options for it. But super, super lovely, really high quality. I always love the quality of lawn from this era. And then the second one is also a white lawn dress in a slightly different style. So this here definitely looks like kind of more of an underdress that might like poof out something. This is like definitely not an overdress. I believe this is, yeah, more of an undergarment. However, I'm not a historical fashion person. I mainly would say like have my knowledge from the 40s on. So I'm not sure how helpful I am really, but I am pretty sure this is an undergarment because it looks like an undergarment. It's super lovely. It has this really pretty like trim detail on all of the seams that make it kind of a princess cut feeling. I love the ribbon going through the top that like helps cinch it, but is also just really lovely. And then the bottom is what made me really fall in love with it. It has all this lace netting that's in pretty good condition. There's only a little bit of staining on them, and they're just super pretty and they layer really nicely, and I'm super excited about this piece. I had been looking for also a like underdress, I guess, like this, and like I said, I was able to try these on and they fit really well in the store, and so I went ahead and bought both of them, even though it was definitely like kind of a wild moment in my budget. But I had been saving. I don't get the opportunity. So many Victorian pieces are like 24 waists and under, or Edwardian, I guess is what these are, that I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I can't trust measurements, and I want to make sure if I'm spending this much money on an item, it's going to fit me really well. So I did pick both of these up. If you're ever in Richmond, Virginia, I would highly recommend this shop. It It was super amazing, and the woman working it was super lovely. And now we're gonna jump into the last, and these are all exciting pieces, but this piece, this is the only vintage piece I've ever cried when I've opened the box, because I just find it so beautiful. This is a really beautiful piece from the 1890s, and I also got to buy this from one of my favorite vendors of antique clothing online. I will link them down below. They are queer and indigenous, so I got to support a business that I've always wanted to support while buying one of my dream pieces. Like, this is a to my death dream piece. And I opened the box, and yeah, I cried, because it's so beautiful. It's such high quality. It's in such good condition for being, at this point, almost 150 years old. And it has lily of the valley flowers, which are just something I find really, really beautiful. They're one of my favorite flowers, and I'm generally kind of obsessed with them. So it was a super, super exciting find for me, and I was so excited to get to own this piece, and I will take good care of it. It has boning on the inside, like many of these pieces have. It fits me like a glove. It fits me like it was made for me. And it does pouch a little bit in the front, but not as much as some of the other pieces, and I prefer less pouchiness in the front, and that is just the top. You can see the back here. It kind of gathers into the back. Super, super, super beautiful piece. Like I said, I feel really lucky that I get to own this, and I will be keeping it in pristine condition. I'm glad, I guess, I now have the seamstressing skills to keep something like this in good condition. And then let me also show you the skirt, because it is also stunning. So it has a rose in the back, and then of course is layered like you would see. And then the hooks, there's hooks all along the top that you hook onto the bodice, so that way it isn't just the waistband taking all the weight. The waistband is in a little bit of rough-ish condition. I'm definitely, before I would wear it for a day, going to go take care of kind of stitching it back down and making sure everything in it feels okay. What is interesting, I'm now noticing, is it has these in it. They're 2 blue ribbons. If anyone knows what those are for, they're in the sides. You could hook something to them. Let me know, because I would be very curious. And then yeah, like I said, it has this little rosette. The biggest condition issue, there is a piece of facing missing in the blouse. That's no big deal. And then here, the hook and eyes here are definitely a little bit worse from wear, and I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of way to do surgery back here at some point to keep the garment wearable. This is in really, really, really good wearable conditions, but it does have some issues that I would like to kind of reinforce, so that way we aren't looking at an unwearable piece. And the top will probably always be wearable, but the skirt will take a little bit of work at some point. And then the other thing I love about this skirt, it has this beautiful weighted velvet hem, and then it also has a ruffle around the bottom that is super beautiful. And then it has a canvas here to make the bottom a little bit more stiff and move when you walk. So this is just really, really, really beautifully constructed, and I feel incredibly lucky to get to own a piece like this. So yeah, like I said, this is the first vintage piece I've ever cried opening the box. So super excited to own it. It's also the most money I have ever spent on this piece, just for, I feel it's helpful to know, for transparency. I spent about $400 on this, which I'm totally good with. Like I said, the business owner I bought it from, I really, really love their content and the things they post, and I've always wanted to support their business. So like I said, it was kind of exciting to be able to buy a dream piece that I would spend this much money on from them. But that now wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed this haul. I think with the holidays coming up, I will have another vintage haul coming up a little sooner than later, because I will be in Denver, where there's a bunch more vintage shops that I really love. So definitely stay tuned for that, and stick around and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye!